Hello. Today we will talk about Steve Jobs' biography. I summarize the video into 7 sections to make sure it's easy to follow. PC planner and corporate leader Steve Jobs is prime supporter of Apple computers. With his vision of reasonable PCs, he sent off one of the biggest businesses of the previous a long time while still in his mid-20s. He stays perhaps of the most creative and vigorous psyche in American innovation. 1. Early life. Steve Jobs was conceived on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California, and was taken on by Paul and Clara Jobs. He grew up with one sister, Patty. Paul Jobs was an engineer and fixed vehicles as a side interest. Occupations recalls his dad as being extremely gifted at working with his hands. In 1961 the family moved to Mountain View, California. This region, only south of Palo Alto, California, was turning into a middle for hardware. Hardware structure the essential components of gadgets like radios, TVs, sound systems, and PCs. Around then individuals began to allude to the area as Silicon Valley. This is on the grounds that a substance called silicon is utilized in the assembling of electronic parts. As a kid, Jobs favored getting things done without help from anyone else. He swam seriously, yet was not keen on group activities or other gathering exercises. He showed an early interest in hardware and gadgetry. He invested a great deal of energy working in the carport studio of a neighbor who worked at Hewlett-Packard, a gadgets producer. Occupations likewise signed up for the Hewlett-Packard Explorer Club. There he saw engineers show new items, and he saw his most memorable PC at 12 years old. He was exceptionally dazzled, and realized immediately that he needed to work with PCs. While in secondary school, Jobs went to addresses at the Hewlett-Packard plant. On one event he strongly asked William Hewlett, 1931 to 2001, the president, for certain parts he expected to finish a class project. Hewlett was so dazzled he gave Jobs the parts, and offered him a mid-year entry-level position at Hewlett-Packard. 2. College and travel. In the wake of moving on from secondary school in 1972, Jobs went to Reed College in Portland, Oregon, for a very long time. He exited after one semester to visit India and study Eastern religions in the late spring of 1974. In 1975 Jobs joined a gathering known as the Homebrew Computer Club. One part, a specialized marvel named Steve Wozniak, 1950, was attempting to construct a little PC. Occupations became entranced with the showcasing capability of such a PC. In 1976 he and Wozniak framed their own organization. They called it Apple Computer Company, in memory of a cheerful summer Jobs had spent picking apples. They collected $1,300 in startup cash by selling Jobs' microbus and Wozniak's adding machine. At first they sold circuit sheets, the sheets that hold the interior parts of a PC, while they dealt with the PC model. Example. 3. Apple and the PC period. Occupations had acknowledged there was a colossal hole in the PC market. Around then practically all PCs were centralized servers. They were enormous to such an extent that one could occupy a room, thus expensive that people couldn't stand to get them. Progresses in hardware, in any case, implied that PC parts were getting more modest and the force of the PC was expanding. Occupations and Wozniak upgraded their PC, with offering it to individual clients. The Apple II went to advertise in 1977, with amazing first-year deals of $2.7 million. The organization's business developed to $200 million in 3 years or less. This was one of the most wonderful instances of corporate development in U.S. history. Occupations and Wozniak had opened a totally new market, PCs. PCs started an altogether better approach for handling data. By 1980 the PC period was well in progress. Apple was persistently compelled to work on its items to stay ahead, as additional contenders entered the commercial center. Apple presented the Apple III, yet the new model experienced specialized and showcasing issues. It was removed from the market, and was subsequently improved and once again introduced. Occupations kept on being the showcasing force behind Apple. Right off the bat in 1983 he uncovered the Lisa. It was intended for individuals having negligible PC experience. It didn't sell well, be that as it may, in light of the fact that it was more costly than PCs sold by contenders. Apple's greatest rival was International Business Machines, IBM. By 1983 it was assessed that Apple had lost portion of its piece of the pie, part of an industry's deals that a particular organization needs, to IBM. 4. The Macintosh. In 1984 Apple presented a progressive new model, the Macintosh. The on-screen show had little pictures called symbols. To utilize the PC, the client pointed at a symbol and clicked a button utilizing another gadget called a mouse. This interaction made the Macintosh extremely simple to utilize. The Macintosh didn't offer well to organizations, in any case. It needed highlights other PCs had, like a comparing great printer. The disappointment of the Macintosh flagged the start of Jobs' defeat at Apple. Occupations surrendered in 1985 from the organization he had helped found, however he held his title as administrator of its top managerial staff. 5. Next. Occupations before long recruited a portion of his previous workers to start another PC organization called Next. Late in 1988 the Next PC was presented at an enormous occasion in San Francisco, focused on the instructive market. Introductory responses were by and large great. The item was very easy to use, and had a quick handling speed, incredible design shows, and a remarkable sound framework. Notwithstanding the warm gathering, be that as it may, the Next machine won't ever get on. It was excessively expensive, had a highly contrasting screen, and couldn't be connected to different PCs or run normal programming. 6. Toy Story. Next was not, in any case, the finish of Steve Jobs. In 1986 Jobs bought a little organization called Pixar from producer George Lucas, 1944. Pixar had practical experience in PC liveliness. After 9 years Pixar delivered Toy Story, an enormous film industry hit. Pixar later proceeded to make Toy Story 2 and A Bug's Life, which Disney conveyed, and Monsters Incorporated. This large number of movies have been very effective. Beasts Incorporated had the biggest opening end of the week ticket deals of any vivified film ever. 7. Next and Apple. In December of 1996 Apple bought Next Software for more than $400 million. Occupations got back to Apple as a part-time specialist to the CEO. The next year, in an amazing occasion, Apple went into an organization with its rival Microsoft. The two organizations, as per the New York Times, consented to coordinate on a few deals and innovation fronts. Over the following 6 years Apple presented a few new items and promoting systems. In November 1997 Jobs reported Apple would sell PCs straightforwardly to clients over the internet and by phone. The Apple Store turned into an out-of-control a good outcome. In no less than 7 days it was the third biggest web-based business webpage on the internet. In September of 1997 Jobs was named break CEO of Apple. In 1998 Jobs declared the arrival of the iMac, which highlighted strong registering at a reasonable cost. The iBook was disclosed in July 1999. This is a shellfish-molded PC that is accessible in brilliant tones. It incorporates Apple's Airport, a PC rendition of the cordless telephone that would permit the client to remotely ride the internet. In January 2000 Jobs uncovered Apple's new internet procedure. It incorporated a gathering of Macintosh just internet-based applications. Occupations additionally declared that he was turning into the super durable CEO of Apple. In a February 1996 Time magazine article, Jobs said, "What drives me and my partners is that you see something exceptionally convincing to you, and you don't exactly have any idea how to get it, yet you know, once in a while naturally, it's inside your grip. What's more, it merits placing in long stretches of your life to make it appear." Jobs has endeavored to make an interpretation of his thoughts into energizing and creative items for organizations and shoppers. He was instrumental in sending off the age of the PC. Steve Jobs is really a PC industry visionary.